Do you know that Elon Musk is considering buying TikTok? That's the word on the street. Elon Musk making a play for TikTok, potentially, possibly, at least China apparently wants it. This is the headline that just came out of Bloomberg last night. You see, Elon Musk could possibly be looking at buying TikTok. Well, he certainly could do it, right? He's got a lot of money. And I don't know if TikTok would be that expensive right now, only because it's a little bit of what shall we say is a fire sale. I don't love fire sales because I don't think they're really fair, but at the same time, I don't think that TikTok's that fair. I'm just going to say it, given what I've seen on the platform. I am on the platform. I have a TikTok account. A lot of my stuff doesn't get through, full disclosure, but it doesn't get through on Facebook either. So there, hey, we're hoping that changes now that Marky Boy is suddenly drinking the MAGA juice. We'll see. But TikTok is a concern, of course, because they have access to all of your data and, they have the ability, one thing that you guys don't necessarily understand, I've been sort of shocked by, is how intrinsic these apps are to your actual phone. So have you ever looked at Facebook, for example, and you're like, wait a second, I was just researching that like 2 seconds ago, or, and then all of a sudden you're getting an ad for it right on your Facebook account? Well, that's because they know everything that you're searching. You have to go into the deep back of Facebook and turn all of that stuff off. It's not easy, okay? Like, I do it myself every now and then, and I'll go back and I'm like, wait a second, why is it on? And I made sure with TikTok to turn everything off, but somehow, occasionally, it gets all turned back on, and I'm like, what? So TikTok has a lot of access to everything that you're searching, every one of your contacts, etc. And there's some fear about that in light of, China not really being exactly what we would call a friend. Yeah, Tawana522 saying, it's like they can hear you. Piece of my mind pointing out the algorithm. The algorithm is everything, but it is like they can hear you, right? It's like they're inside your head. And so if you don't turn everything off, this is what happens. And so the concern, obviously, and you guys get it, is that from a national security perspective, do you really want a Chinese company having that much access to all these Americans? And it's a real concern. Kevin O'Leary, do you know him from Shark Tank? He's a great guy. He's come on my Fox show all the time. I like him. He's a capitalist. He's a common sense realist. He's actually been trying to put a consortium of buyers together to buy TikTok himself. Now Elon has emerged as a potential buyer. He was just talking about this on with Jesse Waters last night. Let's take a listen.
In the end, TikTok is Trump's deal. All right? He's not giving it to anybody else. It's his deal. He's going to use it for all kinds of leverage. I get it. It's a negotiating tool against China. I get it. But he is the consummate deal maker. He's not going to let this drift into someone else's hands. That's my personal take. I asked him myself just 24 hours ago, are you going to support bringing this thing and keeping it alive? Because I got a lot of businesses running on it, and he will. Let's see what happens next.
So the Supreme Court is expected to say, nope, China, you're going to have to divest your U.S. assets. So TikTok being one of the, ByteDance is the parent company. You're going to have to divest this somehow. It's going to have to go to Americans. Kevin's actually Canadian. But hey, if we have any luck, Canada may be one of us pretty soon. It's a reason enough for Kevin to back that idea. Anyway, Maeve Musk, who is Elon's mom, was on Fox talking about this as well, and just her frustration and disgust with the mainstream media.
Media has to change, and the politicians have to change and stop being mean and nasty and dishonest. Because, as I say, they used to always hate on Elon for 15 years, but I trusted them with the other news, where they hated the Republican Party, they hated Fox News, and then I realized, no, they are dishonest in all aspects.
Yeah, really dishonest. I think mainstream media is overall working for mainstream media. I think even Fox News, to a certain extent, is a kind of controlled opposition, right? Once Tucker got out too far, or yours truly got out too far, especially on the COVID stuff, saying this is ridiculous, why are we shutting down the entire country, then, problems ensue. Chuck Schumer was going after Tucker, saying that it was just an abomination that he dared to take a different side of things on J6. So in some ways, just mainstream media being mainstream media is controlled by corporations that have corporate interests and political interests, and that's just the reality of it. And one of the beauties of, say, something like the streaming platform here is that there is no higher up. There is no one looking at my scripts. I don't even have scripts. How great is that? I don't even have to have, let me tell you, the liberation there and not having to sit there and wait around for the teleprompter. I always wrote all my stuff, but except for the teases. The teases were hard because, I just want to give it all away. I just want to tell you everything right away. So trying to tease you and say, hey, stick with me through the commercial break, that was a whole other thing. But I would say that is still a very controlled mechanism. And all of these publications, whether they're print, whether they are networks, they're kind of waking up to the reality, some of them anyway, that they're just stale and old and wrong.